YOLO, the title and thumbnail were not a clickbait misleading. I have indeed spent over $100,000 on my credit card in the last 5-ish years.
You what?
Hey, do you mind paying for this? I don't have any cash.
Sure, I'll just put it on my credit card. I'm never gonna pay it back anyway. 'Cause I have $30,000 in credit card debt. When they call, I tell them I can't pay it back yet.
Credit card debt?
Tomorrow I may buy myself a dining room set or this Boba Fett. Credit card debt, credit card debt, credit card debt.
But yes, all jokes aside, within the past 5 to 6 years, I've put $100,000 total across my different credit cards. Now, the reasons for this are twofold. One, I spend all my money with my main credit card, which is a cashback credit card, so I can get the money back on things I'm already going to buy anyway, like food. And two, my mom had actually gotten sick and couldn't work for a while, and she was struggling with credit card debt herself. So over the course of a couple of months of constantly nagging her, I got her to agree to do a balance transfer over to one of my credit cards for half of her debt. That way she could keep on making her payments and continuing what she was doing, and I'd be able to help her out. Now, you might be able to understand why I feel so strongly that credit cards are bad. I have a very personal connection to credit card debt, be it my own or family and friends. I have seen these things go from upper 20s to 30% interest rates just eating people alive making those monthly payments. If you got a loan from a bank, you'd have better, like a personal loan, an unsecured personal loan, would have better interest rates than a credit card. That's really saying something because unsecured personal loans end up charging you an arm and a leg already. So credit cards feel like a financial nuclear weapon that banks use against people. But I did not realize just how much I had put on my credit cards in the last few years until I had gotten a call from my banker. See, what had happened was the bank that I work with, which is PNC, occasionally goes through the different accounts they have to see if anything pops up as potential upgrade material. So they look at your account and see how much money you're getting in direct deposits, how much money you're spending on cards, and if you qualify for certain things, they will recommend you upgrade to a business account, or they will try and sell you a new credit card, which is what ended up happening. So I got a call from the banker, and he was just going over some of the basic stuffs, and then he was like, and I was looking at your account, and I see that last year you spent $25,000 on your PNC cashback card, and this year you're at about $18,000. Now, this was in August, and I had no idea I had put that much money on my card because I spend the money, and then on Friday, when my paycheck comes in, I pay it off. So most of the time, I don't really carry a balance over unless I'm doing a balance transfer like I did with my mom. So I looked at it, and I had asked him to send me the statement on it or whatever, and I was just a little flabbergasted because $25,000 in a single year and then $18,000 this year, I had no idea I was spending so much. And he was like, yeah, and you've maxed out your cash back for this specific card. Now, I see you have one other card with us, but have you considered getting a third or fourth line of credit via credit cards? It can help you build your credit and blah, blah, blah. He was trying to sell me on a new credit card. So I politely declined and explained to him I had credit cards with other creditors that I was using and I had no need for an additional card. But it got me thinking, how much have I actually been putting on my credit cards? Because that's $25,000 last year and $18,000 this year on one single card alone. So I started looking into it, and within the last 5 to 6 years, I have spent over $100,000 on my credit cards. And only roughly $12,000 of that was balance transfers I had done from my mom's credit card over to mine to help her out while she was sick. So that's like $88,000 in credit card debt that I've been paying. And the reason I didn't realize that it had gotten this much spending this bad is because I make the money and I pay it off all the time, so it always looks like it's a zero balance or maybe a couple $100 a balance. Now, the reason that this felt like such a sucker punch to me is because I'm an incredibly frugal and cheap person, to the point of, wearing shoes that have holes in them to where they're just completely rotted through. That way I can get my money's worth. I have not paid for a single haircut in the last 3 to 4 years because Whenever my hair starts to get too long, I just shave my head bald to save money. So the fact that I had spent this much felt like a sucker punch to the gut because I was working so hard, being so frugal, investing so much, and then to find out that there was an extra $100,000 on the table, basically, that I had left. So I started doing some digging and looking into it. And it turns out most of my spending was on food. After doing the math, it looks like I was spending roughly $300 a week on food. Now, I don't keep any food in the truck with me, which means all the food I eat is from the gas station itself, or the truck stop, and fast food joints. So, a $15, $20 meal here and there starts to add up every single day. So, $300 a week times roughly 50 weeks out of the year, because 2 weeks of vacation time where I'm not, buying junk food, came out to about $15,000 a year. Times the 5 years, that's $75,000. Plus the $12,000 in balance transfer brings us to $87,000. The rest was miscellaneous purchases like Christmas and interest payments. When I realized I was spending that much money on food, I was sick to my stomach, figuratively and literally. I know I had been overeating for a while, but I did not realize just how much money I was shoving down my face. $300 a week in food doesn't seem that much when you break it down to by day, by meal, like roughly $15 a meal. But ever since I did that 3-day fast, and I was able to break myself of that bad habit of overeating or eating so much, I've been doing intermittent fasting, where I will eat like one meal a day, and then on the next day I will only eat one meal, or maybe a meal and a light snack. So I already feel like I've lost a lot of weight. I don't have a scale in my truck, so I can't measure it. But I've noticed that the amount of money I've been spending on food drastically reduced. Because ever since that, I've been keeping an eye on my credit card a lot more closely. I am no longer spending near that much money on food. So I'm already saving probably tens of thousands of dollars over the next couple of years by eating less. And I'm not starving myself, so you don't have to be like, oh, well, he's just going to become anorexic to save a few bucks. No, I love food too much to starve myself to save a few dollars. I'll skip paying for haircuts to save a couple of bucks, but I'm not going to skip out on food entirely. And that's also including bottles of water that I buy throughout the day. Because like during the summertime, I'll go through about 4 to 6 liters of water, but during the winter, I'll only go through around 2 liters of water per day. So it's not as consistent an expense. Now, there are 3 silver linings here. Silver lining number 1. This level of spending and being able to pay it off, combined with the loans that I've been taking and paying off, have built up my credit score. I am now over 800 credit score. I think it's like a 806 the last time I checked, which is really good. 2, I paid off the balance most of the time. The cards rarely ever had the chance to build up to like a 4-digit balance. The only times that really happened were when I did the balance transfer to help my mom out. Most of the time, there's only maybe a couple $100 on the credit cards at one given time, because I usually will pay them off at the end of the week. So, they don't really have the chance to build up massive amounts of interest payments because I pay them off quickly. I've built up my credit. And then the only other third silver lining being most of my credit cards are all cash back. I think there's only one that's not a cash back card, and that's specifically a low interest card. So I've been getting kickbacks from all the money I've spent. Usually I'll let the cards build up to like $100 or $200, then I'll take the cash back and put it towards the credit card itself. But that's my experience with over $100,000 of credit card debt. Very shocking and eye-opening. But let me know in the comments below if you've ever experienced something like that in your life where you didn't realize just how much you were spending until it was brought to your attention. I'd love to compare and contrast. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.